and welcome back to Will It Crime. Today's topic is Sugar Baby. Yeah, this is going to be semi-fun, semi-depressing, but it's going to be fun. So,
like the candy or the person?
like the person.
Okay.
Yeah. So, we'll just jump into it. I don't think sugar babies are illegal in the sense of,
I don't think so.
I mean, once it enters into the prostitution range, then it is, but
Yeah, I think it depends on how far you go and what the purpose is. And also age.
Yeah,
How
age.
old said person is.
Yeah.
And other person.
Yeah, it's only really illegal if you're, getting into the prostitution range or if you're in a position of power as a sugar baby, which Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas was.
Oh, no.
So,
I like how that's just his title. Supreme, or Sugar Baby Supreme.
Supreme Court Justice, yeah. Anyway, he has served on the Supreme Court for 33 years. Yeah, since 1991.
Damn.
Yeah, but his background, he was born in 1948, graduated from the College of Holy Cross, graduated from Yale Law School, admitted to the Missouri Bar, was an attorney for the Monsanto, thank you, company from 1997 to 1979. Served as legislative assistant to Senator John C. Danforth of Missouri, appointed Assistant Secretary of Civil Rights in the U.S. Department of Education, named Chairman of the United States Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, and then President Bush appointed him to the U.S. Court of Appeals in 1990, and then Bush nominated him to the Supreme Court justices in 1991, and served from then on. Yeah, so he's well decorated in...
Apparently.
And all this sort of stuff. He has a lot of experience. Yeah. So, you would think that he knows law relatively well.
Enough to get around it.
Yeah. So, what he did was he accepted $4.2 million worth of gifts over 2 decades from several billionaire benefactors without disclosing it.
Oh.
Which is why I call him a sugar baby.
Oh no.
Yeah. So these gifts included at least 38 destination vacations, 26 private jet flights, 8 private helicopter flights, 12 VIP passes to professional and college sporting events, 2 stays at a luxury resort in Florida and Jamaica, free lodging and food at Topridge Resort in the Adirondacks. You know what? I think you're right. I think that's a better pronunciation. And then...
Like the chairs.
And that's not all. I have at least 4 different slides of what he did. So...
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh.
Received tuition payments of about $6,000 per month to 2 private boarding schools for his grandnephew. Sold...
$6,000 a month?
For a boarding school, which is fuck wild. Like, how... What... Why is that money not going to public schools here? Oh my god.
That's disgusting. That's like 3 months of pay.
Right. Yeah, it's bonkers.
Gross.
Yeah. Sold a single-story home and 2 vacant lots to a Mr. Crow, which we'll get into who that is later, for $133,363 in 2014, which is 1, higher than the price of the other properties in the neighborhood, and 2, higher than the valued 1/3 stake he had in the property, which was about $15,000, because he held that property and those 2 vacant lots with 2 other people, so they were joint ownership.
Oh, okay. He sold them?
Yeah, he sold.
Did he talk to the other people that owned the other parts of it?
Who knows?
My guess is probably not.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess not. Crow allowed Clarence Thomas's mother to live on the house rent-free through at least May 2023, and has paid for improvements on the house, like a garage and stuff for the car.
Crow paid for it?
Yeah. So...
But he's not living there.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, so most of these things are from Mr. Crow so far, and the other people have done a lot of other stuff as well. But so far, we're just covering what Mr. Crow has done for Clarence Thomas. Crow contributed $500,000 to Liberty Central, an organization founded by Thomas's wife. Crow was on the board of directors for the American Enterprise Institute, which regularly files amicus briefs in Supreme Court cases, which we'll get to what that is later.
Oh.
The wife's firm, received at least $80,000 in consulting fees from a separate guy, Leo. And Leo advises a nonprofit called Judicial Education Project, known as the 85 Fund, which, again, regularly files amicus briefs before the Supreme Court. Fun stuff.
Okay.
And Leo covered up the money by asking a for-profit firm to act as an intermediary between his judicial education project and then transferring the funds from the judicial to that one. So that way it goes through a middleman to cover
Washing
it up.
it.
Yeah, basically washing it.
Laundering.
So, what is an amicus brief? It's basically a thing that's filed by an organization or an individual to offer information, expertise, or insight about the case. So basically, if it's a case about, let's say, environmental things, like an environmental group might be like, hey, we have some studies that might be relevant to this case, and they'll provide them to the courts. But usually the court decides whether or not those briefs are used in the case or not. But considering that every time that those two companies would file an amicus brief, Justice Thomas would file in favor of those amicus briefs. Generally speaking, after he had accepted money. Yeah.
Bribery.
Yeah. And that's not all.
Oh.
Yeah, so he continued to obviously rule in cases involved with Leo's firm and in Crow's briefs as well. And then Crow also gave Thomas a $19,000 Bible that belonged to Frederick Douglass. I'm going to say that again. You're just so tired. I know.
$19,000.
How?
Bible.
Well, just a book in general. Like, how is that worth that much? He was, I think, a revolutionary near Civil War.
I know the name sounds familiar.
Yeah.
My brain is not.
I know he has something really big to do with history. I don't think he was a pastor. I think that was just, it's a Bible that belonged to him kind of thing, because people were super religious back then. And he was in the Civil War, or like near the Civil War, with a grain of salt, because I can't place anything on a timeline to save my life, so.
Same. Was an American social reformer, abolitionist, orator, writer, and statesman. He became the most important leader of the movement for African American civil rights in the 19th century. And yeah, okay.
So, yeah, and I forgot to mention Clarence Thomas. Clarence Thomas is black, so he's one of the few black Supreme Court justices.
Okay.
Which is why probably
this is a big deal for him.
Yeah, to get that Bible. So
still $19,000.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's because he's a historical figure, but like the Bible isn't even part of why Frederick Douglass was famous, so I don't get that. But whatever. People pay for whatever they want to pay for.
Cost that much to him? You do you, sir.
Yeah.
You do you.
Yeah. Crow gave Thomas a portrait of Thomas and his wife, and Crow's Foundation gave $105,000 to Yale Law School, which is Thomas's alma mater, for the Justice Thomas Portrait Fund. Which it implies that they were going to have a portrait of Justice Thomas somewhere in the Yale Law School, which... I mean, I guess he's a Supreme Court justice, but, like, he's not like a...
I guess?
He's not... Well, he's now famous for this, but... So, we got all of that, and there's more, obviously, because he didn't declare any of this on his financial statements, which...
Why would he?
Yeah. All of the politicians basically have to declare stuff if they give him gifts or money or whatever. He did not, so that's why most of this is a problem. Yeah. Yeah, I think... I have access. ProPublica actually broke the story, so they actually got his financial statements from what he basically submitted to the government, and they were like basically blank. There was like nothing on it.
Like, I can't get anything, I swear.
Yeah, $4.2 million later.
Sure.
Yeah. So there were several billionaires involved in this. The one that has most of his money in Thomas's pockets is Harlan Crow. He's a Texas real estate billionaire. He's one of the ones that had the, the thingies that does opinions to the court. Yeah.
I think we were talking about earlier that I feel like I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. One quick 3-minute break, and we're just like, I have no idea what I'm going.
Brain
We're talking about.
resets.
Yeah. But yeah, basically they submit stuff to the court to be like, hey, this is actually what you should think. So Harlan Crow is one of them. The other one, Leonard Leo, is a quote-unquote conservative legal activist and vice president of the Federalist Society. So both of those are, I think the Federalist Society is like a conservative think tank that
That wouldn't be surprised.
yeah, they basically tried to sway politicians to more conservative values and things like that. So considering he was accepting money from this to sway decisions on federal cases is not great. And then the other ones that aren't specifically named in the ProPublica but have come up are David Sokol, a former top executive at Berkshire Hathaway, big company that I have no idea what it is.
Clearly, they make a lot of money, though.
Yeah, I mean, if they have enough to spend to get into politicians' pocket, yeah. So Wayne Huizenga, he is a billionaire businessman involved. Yeah, basically. Well, I mean, they're all basically Bruce Wayne. They all have so much money that it's not even funny. He was involved with the initial phases of Blockbuster and Waste Management, which made them gigantic fucking businesses.
Blockbuster, that's
Dead.
not here anymore.
Right.
Not gone. It is gone. It's not here.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he was involved up until 2018 when he died. So he built up the business to how big it was, which it was big at the time. And then we got Paul Tony Novelli, an oil baron, Tom Osborne, a former football coach and ex-congressman. And so those are just the big names that have been putting money in his pocket for
When
however
you were
long.
saying ex-congressman, my brain auto-filled ex-convict.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
It could track.
you could check. I mean, considering how much money these people get.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah.
Might as well be.
Yeah. So, ProPublica, they broke the story. They basically investigated the shit out of Thomas. Here, they went into flight records from the Federal Aviation Administration and FlightAware. They went into emails from airport and university officials. They went into security detail recordings, tax court filings, meeting minutes, witness testimony, and these dumbasses had photographs from their vacations with these big name billionaires. So
They're not hiding very well, clearly.
no, including cards that Thomas's own wife had sent to friends. So like on their big name fucking trips, they sent cards with
Here,
them.
everybody, look at all this money that we're getting secretly. Shh.
Yeah, exactly. Like all these free trips that we're getting for free because we're accepting money. Like it's wild.
Look at all this bribery, but don't tell anyone it's bribery.
Yeah. Oh my god. So like here is them in Indonesia in 2019, which they posted on fucking Instagram.
Oh my god.
So Clarence Thomas is
I'm guessing the guy on
the one black guy in the photo. Yeah, yeah.
the old pan suit.
Yeah, because he's one of the few black people on the Supreme Court. So he just happens to be the one who accepted the most money. But I'll get into later on how he's not the only one that has accepted a shit ton of money. Like,
Definitely not.
most
I'm
of
pretty
them
sure
have.
everybody.
yeah. And the only two people that, according to this study, the only two that hadn't accepted any money were the two that were only recently.
Also, the babies.
Right.
They haven't had the time to become sugar babies yet.
Yeah, that had been just appointed. So they hadn't had the time last year.
They're sugar fetus.
Exactly. Yeah, basically. Yeah, my God. Like, to show how much Clarence Thomas was with these billionaires, they had a painting made of him with these billionaires that hangs up at one of the fucking resorts that he's at. Like, it looks...
At one of the resorts?
Yeah, one of the resorts that he's at. So here's the painting. Like, bro.
On another note, really good painting. Done very well.
Oh yeah, no, it's a nice looking painting. They did
But
a great
also,
job.
Sir,
So
you're not
dumb.
hiding anything.
I know. Oh my god.
It's like put a giant neon sign above you. Hey, I take bribes.
Yeah. Here, let me get to. So one of the witness testimonies was from a crew member on a yacht that they all went on. Clarence Thomas had signed a copy of his memoir on this yacht and gave it to the crew member. Which is just...
We're talking about all of those bribery shenanigans.
Oh my god. Oh. Just like the dumbest fucking thing.
How are... why are people so dumb?
I don't know.
Makes my brain hurt sometimes.
It's so dumb. Oh my god. So yeah, like we have a picture of it because ProPublica like even took a picture of it. It says, "Thank you so much for all your hard work on New Zealand adventure. I wish you all the best." And signed Clarence Thomas.
My grandfather's son.
Yeah.
So his father?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that he has some relation to like a...
Does he have daddy issues?
I mean, considering he's a sugar baby, like, I mean, not to blanket statement all of the sugar babies, but like, this guy certainly does, considering he named his thing that and is a sugar baby. Oh my god.
This is about my dad and my grandfather's son.
Yeah. Like, I don't know.
Your father, correct?
Yeah,
Yes.
the father, son, I don't know. But, oh my god. But yeah. And then he even had custom polo shirts from Pro's yacht that were made specifically for him, and he's seen wearing them.
He's so proud of it.
I know! Like, it's
Look at
embroidered.
that.
So dumb. Oh, and so, like, they made almost, like, yearbook-esque fucking spreads for their...
Oh my god.
for their photo albums. Like, you could see this is one of the football game access that he was given for free.
Expensive.
Yeah, and so he's photographed at it, and like here it is, just him memorialized. And
He really is. Like, he's like, guys, you don't have to do any investigation. I'll document all my bullshit by myself.
Right,
Don't
like
worry.
so dumb.
I got all the proof right here.
Yeah. And then Sokol, one of the billionaires, has hosted the Thomases on Hadis Mansion, which comes with a yacht, private movie theater, among other luxuries. And like I know. And there's also photos of him at this luxury property. Best FL movie theater with friends as the caption on this yearbook-esque photo album. Like,
This man.
the audacity.
I have no words for him.
Yeah. Oh my god. So, according to the law, you're supposed to disclose, like, pretty much every gift and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
specifically,
Even us peasants have to disclose shit like that.
right. So only food, lodging, or entertainment received as personal hospitality of an individual need not be reported. Gifts of transportation are required to be disclosed by law every year. So basically,
All those flights in a private jet and yacht and everything else.
yeah, everything. So after all of this was found out, I think she's a senator, Ocasio-Cortez. Senator, I think.
Sure.
Yeah, because she introduced the impeachment of Clarence Thomas to the House committee and tried to, you know, get Clarence Thomas impeached. And it is currently languishing in Senate L. So they introduced it, and then they were like, we're gonna table this, and then they just left
Good
it.
put this to the side.
Which is pretty common, apparently.
United States
Representatives, see now. And then there was also a law introduced to the Supreme Court, requires Supreme Court justices to adopt a binding code of conduct, create mechanisms to investigate alleged violations of the code, improve disclosure and transparency when a justice has connection to a party or amicus before the court, and requires justices to explain the recusal decisions to the public. So, like, if they have to say, like, oh, I can't participate in this case, then they have to explain exactly why.
Have to be held accountable for.
Yep. And then that law also got buried in Senate Hell. So,
Of course.
yeah.
Of course it did.
And then, oh, this is the best part. This one's recent. So there was a case, Snyder versus the United States.
Oh, the whole ass U.S.
Yeah, yeah. It was argued April 15th, 2024, and decided June 26th, 2024. The ruling was by Supreme Court Justice Kavanaugh in a 6-3 opinion, divided between Democrats and Republicans. But first, details of the case. James Snyder was the mayor of Portage, Indiana. 2013, the city of Portage awarded a contract to Great Lakes Peterbilt, which I'm going to shorten to GLP. A trucking company bought 5 tow trucks from GLP.
Okay.
A few weeks later, Snyder asked for and accepted a check for $13,000 from GLP. So Snyder was obviously found guilty of corruption and sentenced to 21 months of federal prison.
Good.
Right? He argued that the kickback was not illegal because it came after he awarded a contract to the company that ultimately paid him off, not before. And that went up to the Supreme Court.
I don't think it cares. It matters whether it's before or after.
You would think. But, surprise, surprise, the Supreme Court agreed that, quote-unquote, gratuities, aka after-the-fact gifts and payments, are not technically bribes and are therefore not illegal. So basically, the Supreme Court, which Clarence Thomas is a part of, ruled that if you get money after the fact, it's not bribery, and thus not illegal. Trying to excuse all of their bullshit.
They're like, here, we'll do this thing for you, but you have to wait after.
Yeah, you have to make a promise to do it after.
Wait a couple days, and then you can give me the money. It's like,
Yeah.
Stupid.
Dumb, yeah. So technically, what he did was not illegal.
Technicality, my ass.
I know. Oh my god. So, as I mentioned before, he's not the only sugar baby on the court.
Of course, I'm pretty sure they all are.
There are a couple of examples. Stephen Breyer accepted a flight to a Nantucket wedding from a Democratic mega donor. Even Ruth Bader Ginsburg took a tour of Israel and Jordan paid for by an Israeli billionaire. So, like, it's on both sides.
Everybody.
Everybody.
Everybody that has even, like, a tiny smidgen of influence, they're just like, here, take my money. Take my money.
Yeah. So I have a cool little graph here.
Graphs?
Yeah, it has the dollar amount of gifts received by U.S. Supreme Court justices from 2004 to 2023. And you'll see here that obviously Clarence Thomas has the most.
God.
And obviously this isn't updated to the full amount because on this graph it says 2.4 million instead of 4.2. So
like half of it, but
it's still the most.
We're gonna post that on the socials because that is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. But the other people are not so great either. So going down, the least amount was $0 from Rehnquist, which I'm assuming is one of the newer ones because I know Kavanaugh and Barrett were also the newer ones, and they have $100 and $500 respectively.
That first one, the $0.
Rehnquist, and he's the Supreme Court justice.
Apparently, he died in 2005.
Oh, well, that would explain why he has $0.
Probably.
And gifts.
He's been dead.
Okay, so really, the only person who has $0 is dead. But that
doesn't bode well for anybody else.
No, and I think Kavanaugh and Brett were only hired in 2022, 2023 as the Supreme Court justice, so that's why they have such low amounts. But everybody else, it ranges from $1.2 thousand to $175,000 in gifts, and these are just what they've claimed. This is also excluding Clarence Thomas, who has 4.2 million, but. It's just the amount of money that they're accepting is bonkers. Their salary is $285,000 per year. Bonkers. Like, they're accepting that much money from the government, and they're also being like, hey, also, give me more.
Even if you take out, like, the 200,000.
Right.
That is double. Like, just the 80-something is double what guy would make in a year.
I'm going to look at average salary.
That is disgusting.
California. So, yeah, the average salary in California is $111,000. But
you would have to be able to make that much to be able to live in California.
Yeah, but the median is $78,000, which seems a
lot, though.
Yeah, like, I feel like they're not accounting for a lot of people here.
They completely took out the lower class.
Yeah.
Like, y'all don't count.
Oh, wait. May 1st, 2024, it looks like Forbes did a thing where now the average salary is $73,000, but the median salary is $18,000. So that seems a little bit more likely, which...
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
That is unfortunate.
Yeah. So, just to ruin your day a little bit, politicians accept significantly more money than the average person will ever see in their lifetime. Woo!
Disgusting.
And it's so funny because I was like, death of 21 people versus depressing note that will forever scar my life.
They're both a little rough.
They're both a little rough.
That was kind of lighthearted.
Mostly just I think this one was more lighthearted just because of how stupid this man was.
No, mine was going to be lighthearted based on the pure stupidity of the people
Yeah.
committing the crime.
Okay, so
That'll be for next week, though.
Yeah.
Or the week after.
whenever we record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. But yeah, I think that's all the information I have on this particular sugar baby.
I'm just forever gonna refer to politicians as sugar babies now, though.
Really? Yeah.
It's like accurate.
Yeah.
They really are.
Because, like, not even just the monies that they accept from billionaires and stuff, there's also lobbyists, which are technically, supposedly, legal.
Legal shit ton of money that they really shouldn't have.
Right. Wild. We always hear about the corruption in other countries in their politics and stuff like that, but like
We just brush ours under the rug. Like,
Yeah.
it's not that bad. I'm like, it is. It's probably worse in some cases.
yeah, like we don't really examine our own politics all that much.
I feel like politicians should be paid minimum wage just so they see how shitty it is.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, we should make this livable
Yeah.
because it sure as hell ain't right now.
Yeah. Like the fact that they're allowed to get money at all as a politician that decides policy, that should not be legal.
No, it really shouldn't.
That's just me. Cue the communist theme song. It's just like,
Oh, yeah.
oh,
It's a train wreck out there right now.
yeah.
Well, that was certainly an interesting episode. So much lighter than last time.
Yeah.
Last episode was rough.
Yeah. Although I gotta say, it's a little bit more lighthearted to know that criminals are very stupid.
They really are.
It really just warms my heart that they're
They're-
just so stupid.
The more research I do, the more I'm like, how did anybody get away with anything?
It's like, oh, thank God. Thank
People
God.
Idiots.
Like, I'm not religious at all, but like, oh, hallelujah.
But also, the other people are also idiots.
Yeah.
Idiots all around.
Yeah.
Ugh. Yeah. Yeah, next episode will be right along that idiot train.
Oh, good, because then I can get my downer of 21 people dead and
Oh yeah, this one everyone survived.
yeah.
It's a very triumphant time.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. Well, we'll see y'all in the next episode then.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Bye-bye.
Bye!